Well, howdy do, Buckaroos, and Merry Christmas to you. Continuing on Christmas, so Santa brought me a couple whiskeys. I showed you one already, the Dead Guy Ale from Rogue. While I pour the rest of my Kinsale FES here. Sure, if I can perch that bottle up here. Let's give it a shot, huh? You never know if you don't try, do you? Here we go. Hey, happy birthday! There we go. Just like Frosty, man. Oh, this is a great beer, and it works with this whiskey. So, this is one you've probably seen me have before. Rocktown, Arkansas Hickory Smoke Whiskey. But they've recently repackaged it. It is a 92 proof, 92 proof? No, 90 proof, my bad. 90 proof whiskey. Try to read a little bit from their bottle. This whiskey is slowly distilled in our copper pot still from the finest Arkansas soft red winter wheat. There you go. It's going to give it a nice soft mouthfeel. It's going to add a little sweetness. Anyways, aged in our own ex-bourbon cask because they do their own bourbon there, which is nice as well. Prior to mashing, we hickory smoke the wheat just like good old southern barbecue. So there you go. So when I've had this whiskey before, oh shit, a brick that wobbled on me. Don't. There we go. When I've had this whiskey before, I've described it as if Americans invented Scotch, this is what it tastes like. So I have that all neat that I will drink later, but I did pour me a jigger on the rocks. So I'm going to drink the rocks version because I don't want it to get too watery. I love this whiskey, and I've talked to folks about it. It seems to be one of those love it or hate it things. You either love that hickory smoke. One guy I talked to said it was too much like barbecue. I said, well, yeah, I guess that's why I love it because it has that smell. But it's also soft and a little sweet, and then you get that big oak and smoke at the end, and that's why I love this whiskey. Um, it ranges in stores. It's got a fluctuation anywhere. I've seen it anywhere between 29 and change and 40. I actually, the reason Santa brought it for me, let's just say, is because it was at the 29 and change range where Santa was able to find it. It is a great whiskey. It probably is worth the 40, but I like under 30, man. It works perfect for me. And under 30, a 90 proof whiskey like this is an absolute freaking steal, man. So as you get more melt off, as you get more melted from the ice, I'm using the one big square cube. I had some I still have actually some globe molds, but then my wife found these trays. I got two of them now that do the six large ice cubes, and I've found where I just like the square cubes better for some reason. I think it melts more uniformly. So when it does melt, when you do get that melt off in there, I just think it blends better with the whiskey, in my opinion. Could be in my head. I really don't know. I just know I like it. There you go, man. Mm. So I'm going to set this down just for a second. Take a drink of my beer. So for my official Christmas video, I was drinking the Kinsale, and I had some Bush 21. And I made the comment during the video that I only have one drink of that Bushmills 21. It's 21-year-old single malt whiskey. There's no point drinking a lot of a whiskey like that. You drink it once when you can really feel it and taste it, and then work your way down the food chain. So, however, having said that, I don't want that to be an insult to the folks in Rocktown because this isn't that far down the food chain, man. Even though the price point is, the quality isn't. The quality on this whiskey is second to none, in my opinion. I loved everything I've had from Rocktown. In my cabinet, still, I have a bottle that I bought on Black Friday, actually. So I've had a little over a year of their cask strength bourbon, and it is crazy good. It's amazing. I still have, I don't know about that much, I guess. I might get some out today, later. Who knows? Most likely it'll probably stay there till New Year's, but hey, I may want some later today. It depends on how festive I feel like getting. I'm only going to have this. I'm going to quit for a while as I finish dinner, and then I'll have some more later. But I want to get these couple videos, three videos, I guess. Wanted one more to finish this beer with, and I wanted to open my Rocktown Christmas. It's been a tradition. Santa's always brought me whiskey. Usually one bottle, sometimes two. This year I got two, the the Road Dead guy and the Rocktown Hickory Smoke, because I've been good this year. Just don't ask my wife; she might give you a different answer. Anyway, she wouldn't let me give her present yet. um, cut and action. So there you go. Been playing around with backgrounds over the last few months, trying to get a little festive Christmas kind of background. But I think with what I got here and the glare you got, I don't think you can see much of it. But it's the thought that counts, right? I put a little effort into it, man. It shouldn't matter that I have no skills, but I put effort into it. So here's a true story. I had to take shop class in junior high school. So throughout the course of the year, you have drafting, metal, and wood, and I was just horrible in all of these. I got a C minus in drafting. I got a D minus in metal, and it came to wood shop. And everybody's got. We all start with this puzzle. I wish I still had it, but I don't. It's a puzzle you put together, and then from there on, you do other projects. You have this one mandatory thing you have to do to grade. Then you have other things for extra credit to pump up your grade. Throughout the course, I mean, there were guys that did 4 or 5 projects that were just knocking really crazy stuff out. Throughout the course of it, all I was able to finish was this puzzle, and I really did give it an honest effort. I just don't have a knack for that sort of thing. I'm lucky I got out of shop class with all my hands. Now, my wife has been married to me for 22 years. I think she will agree with that assessment that I'm lucky to still have all my digits because I am terrible with tools. But anyways, so we get to the last day. The teacher's got this deadline. It's the last day to turn in your projects for a grade. So I turn this in, and he looks at this thing, and it's god awful. I mean, it's got nicks in it. I mean, it's certainly not. If I turned it in on time, it probably would have got maybe a C, and then I would have had time to do other things. But I turned it in at the very end and didn't do anything else to bump up that what was probably a C project. And he looks at this, and he looks at me, and he says, "This is all you were able to get done." I took a deep breath, and I kind of hung my head a little bit. I said, "Yes, sir." His name was Mr. Woodman, by the way, which is kind of ironic for a woodshop teacher, but that's a true story. He was also a gym teacher, but anyway, Mr. Woodman looks at that, and he looks at me, and he says, "This is all you're able to get done." I kind of hung my head, so yeah. And he put a grade on it, and he hands it back to me. He says, "Is that okay?" And I look at the grade, and he wrote A plus on the project. My eyes got real big. I said, "Yes, sir," and I walked away. And I got an A plus in woodshop, which bumped me up for the. I was getting a, I was getting an F for the. I was getting a D for the semester. And that bumped me up. So, anyways, thanks, Mr. Woodman. You're all right. Anyway, that's my school story. Oxford Junior High School. For those that went to Oxford with me. It's funny. The great thing about social media is, with all of its negatives, the great thing is sometimes you can connect with folks that you've lost connection with. Like I've got folks that I went to. I've got a couple friends on there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3 that I can think of that I went from kindergarten through 6th grade with that I now have on Facebook. Some of them I went all the way from kindergarten through high school with. And I've got some friends I went through middle school through high school with on Facebook. So there is some negatives about social media, but I think a lot of this. What's the word I'm looking for? A lot of that's kind of accentuated maybe by the way you act, your behavior. If you look for negative things, sometimes negative things will happen to you. Sometimes you just get picked up for no reason. That kind of happens. But yeah, I mean, if you send negative vibes out, negative vibes will come back. It is nice. I really enjoy that I've been able to reconnect with a lot of folks that I had lost contact with for in some cases, better than 30 years. So there you go. There's my rocks version down. It did actually. I mentioned early on as I started drinking that as it melted, you will get more sweetness. Yes, you will. You also feel a lot of wheat near the end. I noticed that the more The colder it got, the closer to the end I got, the more of the wheat I really felt. Palate cleanse with a stout. You don't see that often, do you? Anyways, I digress. So here we go. Jack Daniel's Distillery Single Barrel. Yeah, I like this glass because it's great for neat drinking. I'm having the Rocktown Hickory Smoke, as you know, but I love this little glass. You know, for a while there, I had a couple. I still have one. One broke, but I still have. I had a couple Glencairns, in glasses. And they're nice. I mean, they're kind of pretentious, but they're good for certain things. But I think glasses like this get overlooked. This glass is meant for neat drinking. You get as much of the nose as you do from a glass like that, no matter what some pretentious Scotch drinker is going to want to tell you. And there's a lot of them out there, man. Mm. Oh gosh, that's nice. Yeah, you do notice some sweetness. I notice a lot of smoke. I notice some oak. I notice a lot of toffee, a whole lot of toffee. Mm. You might get some subtle fruit notes. Who knows what you might get? And we all taste things different. When you drink a whiskey or a craft beer, for instance, what you draw on is your experiences, the things you know, the things you've tasted. So when people tell you, no, you're wrong, you should only get these notes. Well, they're wrong because you're going to taste what you taste. You're not wrong. Maybe it's not within the style. Maybe it's not typical, but you're not wrong. What you feel, what you taste is what you taste. Don't let anybody tell you you're wrong because they're just being pretentious and they're showing off. Oh, this is nice. I love this one. I gotta tell you, man. It is under $30, and it is just a crazy bargain for under 30. The couple people that I've talked to that aren't crazy about it think it's too smoky. I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. But I love the smoke. Again, I equated it to if Americans invented Scotch, this is what it tastes like. I really do believe this is what it would taste like. The smoke notes are beautiful, but in my opinion, they're not overwhelming. They work all the way through the drink, but they never overpower the flavors of that red wheat, and that's why I think it works. I think it's just smoky enough, man. But then again, I mean, I'm nuts, right? I love the smoke stuff. I don't know that there is too smoky for me. So you'd have to smoke the living crap out of it for me to take a bite of some pork chop or a brisket or say it's too smoky. I like smoky, man. I think it adds flavor. And in this whiskey, I just think it just works beautifully. So there you go. My FES chaser. So, anyways, as I conclude this video, I hope you all are having a Merry Christmas. We're getting through. It's been okay. Today is just the wife and I. I'm just trying to stay out of trouble. I'm just trying not to piss her off, man. And that's difficult. You have no idea. I'm wearing my red and green, so I'm trying to be festive today. I'm cooking her dinner. You would think that would buy me some points, but it doesn't usually. I'm probably still gonna get to the end of Christmas and not get lucky, but yeah. But it's Christmas and I stay optimistic. Cheers, y'all. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope y'all are having a fine Christmas. But don't get your knickers in a knot if somebody says something else. Somebody says Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Merry Festivus. I don't care what they say to you. Don't get your knickers in a knot. Don't be pretentious. Don't be rigid. We all can celebrate what feels right to us. I am Trying to be a Whisperer. Merry Christmas.